Okay. Okay. Good start. Good start. Smash the phone. No, I don't want to do it like that. I don't want to do it like that. Okay. Hey gang, welcome to another Make It Special. Hi, welcome to another Make It Special. I'm really excited about today's project. Hi, welcome to Make It Special, and today's project I am really excited about. We got a lot to get through. Welcome to Make It Special. I'm really excited about today's project because I am very excited for today's project. Today, I am going to walk you through a step-by-step instruction on how you and your family can take a bucket at home and put a hole into it. Today, I am very excited. Today, I am super excited. Today, I am really excited. You can see that we have some buckets laid out on the table today. Some buckets laid out here on the work table, and we're going to I have some buckets laid out here on the work table, and I'm going to show you and your family some techniques that you can use at home to put holes in your very own buckets. Your very own holes in your buckets. I have some buckets laid out here on the table, and I'm going to show you several techniques that you and your family can use at home to put holes in your buckets. So I have some buckets laid out here on the table, and what I'm going to do today is show you and your family several techniques that you can use at home to put holes in your very own buckets. So the first thing we want to do when we get started is to make sure we have all the tools we need. Before we get started, let's make sure we have all the tools we need. The first thing we want to do when we get started is to make sure that we have all the tools we need. So the first thing we want to do is get our tools together. You're going to need a hammer, nails, any size will do, a Sharpie marker, a power drill, and a drill bit. Again, any size will do. Don't forget your hard hat. Safety's important. There we go. But just remember, it's easier to make a hole bigger than it is to make it smaller. I'm not a careful person, but remember that it's easier to make a hole smaller. It doesn't matter what drill bit size you use, but remember, it's easier to make a hole bigger than it is to make a hole smaller. Maybe you want to grab yourself a bottle of water and some orange slices. And remember, during any project, it's important to take care of yourself. Make sure that you have some hydration around, maybe some orange slices, a light snack to keep your energy up, especially if you're working alone. Let's go ahead and put some holes in our buckets. Let's go ahead and put some holes in our buckets. So the first technique I'm going to show you is pretty straightforward. We're just going to use a hammer and nails. This is a technique I like to use for smaller buckets or buckets that are made of a very thin material. Okay? Again, I'm using common house nails, 1 1/2 inch. You can use any length, any width. It doesn't really matter, but it's going to be easier to make a hole bigger than it is to make a hole smaller. You don't want to put your hole in the bottom of the bucket because now you've obstructed its flow and you've sort of obscured your vantage point. It's like I like to put my hole right there, okay, right at the bottom edge, sort of see. So right there at the bottom, I'm put my X. So right at the bottom, I'm going to put my dot. Right away, you can see I am, you need. Okay, so right away we can see that we have movement here. This is going to make it really difficult for me to strike the nail effectively while it's rolling around. If you are not alone, if you have someone in your life that cares about you, that's around you, you might be able to ask them to hold it in place. What we're going to use is our handy dandy duct tape. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and pull out our tape. Don't need a lot. It doesn't even really need to be precise. Just do a rip there. I have the cheapest tape I could find. I'm just going to tape it right to the table. Press it, give it a little bit of pressure. Now, and then maybe, and with this, you just kind of tape until it really feels secure. Safety is key here, and you don't want it moving around on you. Remember where we put our dot? Okay, so I line up my nail with the dot I made. Now I have my hammer. What we want to do, I'm just going to give it a little starter tap. So now I have the nail is inside the bucket. We're just going to drive it all the way through. Here you go. Now you see the nails in there? Before we take the tape up, pull the nail out. Wow. Guys, that's a pretty great hole. You'd have to be a pretty dense liquid not to drain through that hole. Almost a solid. Now it's possible to run into buckets that are thicker or bigger. What do you do then? You may run into buckets that are thicker or bigger. What if I want to put a bigger hole? Well, that's when we turn to our power drill and drill bits. Cordless drill. Now, you may run into larger buckets, even thicker buckets, and for that we're going to need our drill and a drill bit. Make sure for this job I'm using a 5/16 of an inch drill bit. Make sure when choosing a drill bit different drill bits do different things. You want to make sure when selecting a drill bit that you know what that bit is meant for. You want to make sure when selecting a drill bit that you know what that drill bit was meant for. Different bits have different purposes. Make sure that your drill is set to the drill position. To put a hole in a large bucket, to drill a hole into a large bucket, we're going to rely on a lot of the same principles we utilized drill a hole into a large bucket, we're going to utilize a lot of the same tricks we use to put a nail hole into a smaller one. Let's first decide where we want our hole. If I put the hole here at the bottom, our flow could be obstructed. If I put the flow here If I put the hole here at the bottom, our flow could be obstructed. Let me find a good spot. I try to find where the bucket's speaking to me. I'm going to put the hole right here. So now we're going to tape down our bucket. Some of you might have someone in your life that could hold this in place for you. It's easier to make a hole bigger than it is to make it smaller. Drill is on, so very carefully but firmly, I'm going to place the drill bit right over the mark I made on the bucket. Here we go. Right through. Really clean, really quick, right through. Remove our tape, and look at that. That looks like it came from the factory, doesn't it? That's a really clean hole. Try to get some good close-ups of that. All right, wow. So, super duper excited about this, guys. And we didn't hurt our noggin. Boy, oh boy, that is a good-looking hole, huh? I tell you. Whew. We're gonna get these tools cleaned up. And we'll be right back and give these holes a try. Well, boy, we'll be right back. Give these holes a try. Boy, I'm excited to see these holes work. Oh yeah, I'm excited to see what these holes can do. Well, let's get these tools cleaned up and try out our new holes, huh? Come on. Okay, so we put a hole. Now we've got a hole in our bucket. I put a piece of tape over there so I could demonstrate how it works. Ready? Oh man, look at that hole, huh? Look at the even flow. Boy, I tell you what, this is gonna ruin my tablecloth. Awesome. Well, gosh, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. This is Make It Special. Make sure to subscribe and like. Favorite, give me a follow. Tune in for more fun projects. Make sure to like and follow. Let's make it special. Boy, we sure made a mess. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you have someone in your life that you can share this with, you should. Let them know you appreciate it. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Make sure to like and subscribe and favorite. Make it special. I gotta walk around and stop all this myself. It's just me here. Hopefully, it'll be everything that it needs to be.